Hello. Over the last 7 years, I put so much effort into growing things here that I didn't even think what to do when it was time to harvest it all. And there's so very much to harvest at the moment. It's July now, the end of July, but at the beginning of this month there were so very many berries that I didn't have time to harvest them all. I was going to just leave them for the birds and for the ground to reabsorb them, but my 89-year-old grandmother volunteered. In fact, she didn't volunteer, she just turned up, I couldn't stop her really, to help me pick them all.
Just strip them over your... and just run your hands, you know, the right ones will come off. Ones that aren't right stay on, look, and they're just very light. You couldn't possibly pay and sell them commercially. Your mum been here how long, and she's got one little basket full. See, now I've got all these because you're growing them in such quantity here. You know, you couldn't really pay anybody by the hour. See, my love, could he? But anyway, we've done these now. But what I did was strip them lightly, and they came off, you see, and the ones with the ripe. These are almost ripe. Shall we pick them as we go? These individually then? Yeah. Oh, it's a hot job, isn't it? Look at that. Look at them. They should be lifted, look, out so that they're pickable, my love.
There were blackcurrants, red currants, raspberries, jostaberries, worcesterberries, gooseberries, blueberries, mahonia berries, whortleberries, and many other kinds that I can't think of at the moment. But what to do with them all? My mum took a few to make smoothies and jam and pies and the like. My grandmother had a few carrier bags full for her trouble. But someone very kindly gave me this book, Food from Your Forest Garden. This is a wonderful companion to the other book by Martin Crawford, Creating a Forest Garden, which is the book that I used to help me set up this place. But this tells you what to do with a lot of the produce. I thought about making jam from all the berries, but as much as I like jam, it does have a lot of sugar, and there's only so much of that you can have. So the simpler method that uses nothing but the fruit itself is fruit leathers. General method for fruit leathers. Seems quite simple actually. You whiz it all up, roll it out on a baking tray, and leave it to dry. Then you can cut it up into strips, roll it up, and put it in jars to store it and eat at your leisure. It's supposed to look a bit like that when it's finished, but we shall see. On a hill
near a wood,
where nobody goes,
up a track,
through a gate,
the food forest grows, with secrets and treasures for everyone's pleasure, and Rob's discovery.
Just as a little experiment today, I went down to my mum's freezer where she was kindly storing some of the berries for me, and I got a bag of raspberries, blackcurrants and jostaberries. So let's whiz these up and see how it goes. Ideally, I would have built a robust enough power system from the solar panels and batteries to power my smoothie maker, but the maximum wattage of my electrical system is 150 watts and the smoothie maker is 300 watts. So for now, until I can get some more panels or a better, bigger inverter, I have to rely on this petrol generator to run the smoothie maker, which is a little bit, what's the word, overkill, but I'll just run it for as short a time as possible. There are all sorts of combinations of fruits you can make fruit leather from. I'm quite keen to try apples and plums next month. And if you don't have enough berries, you can always put an apple in to bulk it up as a bit of ballast. This is a bit of an experiment. This combination wasn't recommended in that book, but I'm going to use the raspberries, some jostaberries. Oh, and one of my hairs. I don't think so. And some blackcurrants. I might use a dash of water with this. It doesn't seem to be coping with the icy berries. I want as little water as I can get away with. That smells wonderful. It's got the consistency of sorbet. Right, another couple of loads of that, I think. Tastes like sorbet too. A shake. A smaller quantity, that's the answer. It's going to take a lot longer to dry with this extra moisture, but the machine wouldn't have coped otherwise. Ideally we want a layer about 1/4 of an inch thick, or 7mm. That's probably thick enough for this particular tray. To the drying room. Ideally, I would use a dehydrator, perhaps a solar one. You can build them quite easily. There are plans on the internet. But I bought this from the internet. They were 2 for £20, and I love the way they concertina up like that. Isn't that brilliant? And it's often quite hot in here in the yurt. It gets up to about 40 degrees centigrade this time of year in here. So really it's just a winter room. And this is great for drying herbs and flowers and fruits. But this time I'm going to try it drying this fruit leather. It's quite nice and insect tight in here as well, so nothing can come and feed on it. So that's nice and hot. In the sun there's good air circulation in here because of the vent in the roof. So I'll leave that for a couple of days and see what happens. it wasn't really working in the yurt. It's been quite overcast and wet and cloudy the past couple of days. So I slipped it onto the parcel shelf of my car for a couple of days, and I changed it to the dashboard when the sun moved round throughout the day, and it seems to have worked perfectly. Smells all right. Nice and dry as well. Let's see how it'll cut. This is horribly sticky. It's time to get sticky with Mickey at Cash for Fame. Well, it tastes excellent. Like concentrated raspberries and blackcurrants, funnily enough. Not as much as I hoped. That's because the greaseproof paper stuck to a lot of it. I think I'm going to leave it out for the birds. But it was an experiment, and I certainly will try making it again, perhaps with the temperature a bit more controlled this time. But I'm very happy with that, and I would say that will keep for a couple of years, but I know that it won't last the week with me around. Once again, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've learned something. I certainly have. See you soon. Bye.